Good day. Welcome to this episode of the NUST Conversation series. My name is Moblessing Jovu, and today my guest is Tafatso Banga, a young researcher, innovator, and a space enthusiast who has broken new ground locally, regionally, and internationally. He is a NUST student who has lived up to our motto, which is thinking other terms. Welcome, Tafatso.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Okay, tell us, who is Tafatso Banga?
Tafatso Banga is a student studying industrial manufacturing engineering, currently in 5th and final year. I'm also the national point of contact for Space Generation Advisory Council, which is a UN body that represents students in terms of space, established in 1999, and its headquarters in Vienna, Austria. I'm also the lead for students for the exploration and development of space, SAID Zimbabwe, chapter we started in 2018. Currently, we have 3 chapters: SAIDS UZ, SAIDS NUST, and SAIDS CAT, Achino University of Technology. And we're also looking to establish SAIDS MSU. On the other side, I'm also part of the Space Hubs Africa, which is an initiative to teach students across the continent about space. In all those platforms, I was also given the opportunity to lead Young Inventors, which I founded in 2018. An initiative that gave students here at NUST the opportunity to interact and come up with solutions that we can solve within the local community, which is NUST to start with. So essentially, that's Tafatso Banga and what I represent as an innovator.
Okay. Would you tell us more about your achievements and recognitions so far?
So far, I've managed to accomplish a few things. I wish to accomplish more. But as of to date, I've managed to be part of the 4th Africa Space Generation Workshop organizing team that was held in Ghana in February 2021. It went well. It gave us the opportunity for us to engage with the African continent, African leaders, and see how best we can shape up the space community in Africa. I've also managed to take part in the High Altitude Balloon Project, which was the first of its kind here in Zimbabwe. It managed to give us the appreciation of what space is all about. And with that project, we managed to reach out and use it as a theme as well to promote a breast cancer awareness campaign. Okay. It was done during the World Space Week window from the 4th to the 10th of October. Other accomplishments that I've managed to achieve through the Young Inventors, we managed to represent NUST in Zimbabwe as a whole in the regional competitions that was organized by Oxford in Senbio in South Africa, where we designed our own PCR machine, a polymerase chain reaction machine that is used to amplify DNA. I think currently people talk about PCR tests that are being done, so that's something that we worked on. And on other part, through the Innovation Hub, when I was in part 2, I was given the opportunity to design a robot Simba. That was an initiative to allow students in primary level to learn more about STEM. So the robot itself was a mere project for students to then communicate with this robot and then also learn how more they can engage in terms of STEM. So in as much as the accomplishments, that is what I've done so far. But it is my hope that we'll continue to do more to have an impact in the space community as well as the NUST community.
Okay. You have been invited to the forthcoming Space Summit. Tell us more about the summit and your role.
Thank you so much. So for the Space Summit, I was privileged to be invited to be part of the speakers for the Global Space Summit organized by SDNX. Space Nexus Development Foundation, which is in India, in collaboration with William Learning Labs. So the Global Space Summit is just giving me as a speaker the opportunity to share the activities that we've been doing here in Zimbabwe in terms of space. What all the activities that we are currently doing as students is just to add into the initiative that our government introduced, which is ZINSA, our National Space Agency, Zimbabwe National Geospatial and Space Agency. So that platform during the Global Space Summit is what I'll be sharing. Then I was also given an opportunity to share and present a paper, an oral presentation in Japan, Osaka, for a paper that is focusing on the betterment of human society through space exploration. So essentially, that's what I'll be focusing on the Global Space Summit, which is happening from the 20th of June up to the 20th of July. And my session will be on the 25th of June. And we'll be glad to have our NUST community also joining and getting to learn more of the initiatives that we're doing in terms of space.
Share with us the significance of space research and available opportunities for young researchers and innovators.
Thank you so much for asking that question. So it's a question that everyone would really want to understand. Why space? Why would you want to venture into space? And particularly for the young individuals that are coming up into the STEM programs, and taking into account also those who are not in technical fields. So space is quite vast and it accommodates everyone. It is quite funny that more journalists have gone to space in relation to maybe established space agencies like NASA, other than the engineers themselves, because the engineers would find them just working on designing the vehicles and everything. But when you want someone who is able to have a picture and bring out the information of what is it that they were seeing in their exploration, you need someone with the technical skills of the know-how of capturing information. So space is quite vast. In as far as maybe the applications we would want to zero in, maybe in terms of satellites, we focus more in terms of agriculture. Here in Zimbabwe, some of the challenges that we have include the issue of connectivity. So those are the areas that space can assist us as a nation to improve. There are so many uses of space that we can employ into our day-to-day lives. Some of the spin-offs for space that we are using in our day-to-day activities are the global positioning system, the GPS, that would allow you to find your way to whatever destination you would want to go. Initially, it was something that was introduced maybe specifically for the military purposes, but now it's available to everyone. And other advantages or other uses that have been derived in terms of space, you would find the blue lighting per se, which is used in some companies to allow workers to be awake in all their activities. You find that at times you tire, but when you use blue lighting, they found out that it's something that energizes the workers within the working environment. So those are some of the activities that or applications that can make us tap into what space is all about. Then in terms of agriculture, we are talking of precision agriculture. We need to monitor. I know in Angola they are using satellites to calculate the yield of maize at a national level. They are also using satellites to monitor the amount of fish that is on their shore, something like that. And at the end of the day, you are able to monitor resources. That's what we are all talking about. Be it water resources, we need to know the amount of water that we have. We need to know the vegetation that we have in our country. I know there are so many surveyors within Zimbabwe. They also use space technology. So to an individual who is living in the rural areas, it is important for them to understand that space can elevate whatever that they are doing currently to improve their livelihood. Of importance to me is the issue of connectivity and education. You would find that in some areas, for so many students, they are not able to access education, and it's quite a challenge during this period in time where you have COVID and other students are not able to go to school and everything. But with space now, you are able to share information and convey information through using different platforms. As said, when we did the higher altitude balloon, it was also an exercise that we were also doing, and we were able to communicate with our electronic payload that we launched to an altitude of 20 kilometers over a distance of 100 kilometers. So essentially, we can use such technology to preload information and be in a position to share at a large scale. It's something that we can also take at a national level. I know we have base stations, fixed base stations, but when we look in terms of drones, it's something that an idea that was introduced recently in Europe, where they want to use drones per se as mobile base stations. And you'd find that with the size of Britain, they only need about 9 drones. So if you compare now with Zimbabwe, we would probably need fewer of them to have mobile base stations that can facilitate in terms of communication and everything. So it's quite vital, and I think that's why we need everyone on board, be it from space, be it from law, space law, be having how to govern these space activities at the end of the day, as we have so many players coming on board. So yeah, there are so many areas that we can benefit from in terms of space. It all then depends now as an institution or as a nation, which path do we want to focus on, or what do we want to benefit more in terms of space.
Okay, that's quite an insightful explanation there. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, so to speak?
So in the next 5 years, my hope after graduating is probably having an opportunity to join an organization that is within the space industry or the aerospace industry, gain more knowledge. Knowledge is power, and from that you'll be able to apply yourself more and see how best we are able to integrate such technologies here in Africa. I think the biggest challenge that we have is there is a lot of knowledge. In some instances, people would want to consider maybe developing nations as if we are still 50 years back. But from my own end point, I see it as a platform where we have 50 years of literature review, where we can study and see how best we can correct from what has been done, how we can implement some of these technologies in the right manner. So my goal is to tap into that knowledge, and in the long term, be in a position where I'm able to establish, be it a product or an organization or business per se, that is able to offer resources using space technology to improve our livelihoods here in Zimbabwe.
Well, viewers, you have it there. To register to watch the summit, please use the link on the screen. Thank you for watching this particular episode of the NUST Conversation series.